in this video, we're going to analyze the poem She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron, based on the TPCASTT method. What do you think about the poem? Beauty? A girl? Or maybe something else? Aren't you curious? Well, don't worry, because we're about to dive into the analysis of She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. Check it out!
For our first impression, when we see or hear the poem's title, She Walks in Beauty, we can imagine a beautiful woman wearing gorgeous dress, walking in the middle of crowd and being a center of people's attention.
In She Walks in Beauty, Lord Byron describes a woman whose beauty is looked like a clear night sky filled with stars. The speaker wonders how her features harmoniously blend light and dark, emphasizing that her beauty is external and reflective of her pure and virtuous inner self. Each stanza highlights different aspects of her beauty, concluding that her physical appearance signifies her inner beauty. Overall, Byron's paraphrase of beauty in the poem emphasizes that true loveliness appears from a harmonious balance between physical and attitude. The woman's walk in beauty is not just about her appearance, but also about realizing the charm through her actions and thoughts. This nuanced exploration of beauty makes She Walks in Beauty a timeless and deeply romantic poem.
Next, let's analyze the connotation of this poem. As you can see here, this poem is structured in 3 stanzas of 6 lines, and it has AB rhyme scheme, each written in iambic tetrameter. Well, let's analyze the connotation from the first stanza. In the first line, she walks in beauty. The writer uses metaphor to write the sentence. This phrase symbolizes the effortless grace and elegance that the woman shows. Her beauty flows naturally with her movements, combining her inner qualities and also the outer appearance. Next, like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, it's both a symbolism and metaphor. So, the night symbolizes mystery and calmness, suggesting that the woman's beauty is both peaceful and captivating, not like the harshness of daylight. The clear skies and stars in the night imply clarity and perfection, suggesting her flawless appearance and character. We also interpret the sentence as an imagery because the image of the night paints a clear and calm night sky, which suggests that she embodies both darkness or mystery and light or purity, creating a harmonious balance. Another interpretation we found for cloudless climes and starry skies is an imagery which evokes a peaceful night, suggesting that her beauty is calm, pure, and transcendent, raising her beauty to an almost divine level. Furthermore, this line is also an alliteration. Cloudless climes and starry skies. As you can hear, it has a repetition as the S sounds, creating a soft and flowing sound of the smoothness and calmness of her beauty. Next is the phrase, best of dark and bright. So, Byron contrasts these 2 elements to show that the woman's beauty exists in the perfect balance of these opposing forces. Her beauty isn't just light or just dark, but it combines both elements, symbolizing a complex and harmonious inner and outer beauty. Next, the phrase tantalized in the last line of stanza 1. This symbolizes the soft, gentle, and nature of her beauty. It's not overwhelming like daylight, instead it's total and perfectly balancing contrast. Well, everyone, let's look at the last sentence of stanza 1. which heaven to go the day denies. In this line, Byron gives heaven the ability to actively withhold or deny the bright light of day from being excessive or showy. So it's a personification which emphasizes that the woman's beauty is something heavenly and refined. Heaven is also described as having the power to deny something to the day. This suggests that the woman's beauty is so exquisite that even heaven acknowledges and preserves it. This idea reinforces the concept of her beauty as something sacred and otherworldly. Well, let's move to stanza 2. And the first line in the second stanza, one should the more, one ray the less. So here, Byron uses antithesis to show that her beauty is a perfect balance. If there were even a slight change in the balance between light and dark, her beauty would be diminished. This highlights that her beauty exists in perfect harmony. Next, in the third line, which waves in ever-raven tress. Well, it's an imagery which describes the movement and texture of her dark hair, suggesting it has a flowing, almost wave-like quality. This image enhances the sensory experience of her beauty. Okay, next is the phrase raven tress. It's a metaphor which refers to her dark hair. The author used raven to create a sense of beauty and depth. Ravens are often linked to mystery and elegance, adding to the overall theme of beauty that is both captivating and complex. This metaphor highlights the richness of her physical feature, enhancing the image of her appearance. You know, everyone, raven is also a symbolism. It implies darkness, which contrasts with her bright face, symbolizing the mix of dark and light in her beauty. Still in this line, raven tress and softly lightens over her face. Here, Byron uses visual imagery of her dark hair and the soft light on her face to highlight the contrast and harmony between dark and light, showing the balance in her physical and moral beauty. Next line is thoughts serenely sweet express. Well, it is an imagery. This image of calm and sweet thoughts suggests the purity of her inner self, indicating that her mind and heart are as beautiful as her appearance. Next, in the last line of second stanza, there's a metaphor in the phrase dwelling place. This phrase represents the woman's inner self or soul, suggesting that her thoughts and feelings are a safe space of purity and goodness. It means her inner beauty is just as important as how she looks on the outside, highlighting a deeper part of her character. Alright everyone, now let's move to the third stanza. The diction used in the third stanza, like soft, calm, and eloquent, evoke feelings of peace and tranquility, emphasizing that the woman's beauty is understated and graceful, not overpowering or brash. Okay, let's see the third line of the third stanza. Smiles that win, the tints that glow. This visual image of her gentle smile and glowing complexion suggests warmth, kindness, and the pleasantness of her character. The term smiles here is a personification which is described as active and powerful, suggesting that her expressions can captivate and charm others. Let's move to the next one. A heart whose love is an ocean. This phrase is hyperbole, so Byron exaggerates the purity of her heart, suggesting that she is almost angelic or divine in her emotions and goodness. Well, everyone, that's all about the figurative language. Now, let's talk about the diction used in this poem. Well, first thing first, Byron's choice of words throughout the poem is intentional and evokes a sense of elegance and respect. Words like mellowed, tender, and serenely contribute to the gentle and soothing tone of the poem. The descriptive language enhances the sense of beauty and calmness, inviting readers to appreciate the subtitles of the woman's appearance and character. The contrast between gaudy or bright and flashy and tender highlights the balance of modesty and beauty, reinforcing the idea that true beauty isn't loud or flashy, but rather refined and soft. Lastly, the use of words like innocent and pure emphasizes the moral and spiritual beauty of the woman, suggesting her goodness and virtue. Okay, that's about the diction. What about the tone of the poem? Well, the tone of the poem is one of respect and admiration. How can we know it? Well, we can prove it from Byron's choice of soft and gentle words like mellowed, tender, and softly, which adds to the overall tone of calmness and awe, reflecting his quiet admiration for the woman's beauty.
Next, we have attitude. From the beginning, the speaker's attitude is one of deep admiration for the woman's beauty. He describes her in a calm and serene way, comparing her to the peaceful, starry night. For instance, in the first two lines, she walks in beauty like the night, of cloudless climes and starry skies. This creates a picture of natural elegance and grace, showing that her outer beauty is something harmonious and peaceful. As the poem continues, the speaker's admiration grows beyond her physical appearance. He starts to appreciate her inner qualities like her purity and goodness. This is especially clear in the last two lines where he highlights her inner beauty, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. By the end, the speaker's attitude shifts from simply admiring her outward beauty to also respecting her purity of her character. Next is the shift. In this poem, there are two shifts. First, there is a shift in tone, which is similar to the attitude earlier. At the start, the speaker is focused on the woman's outer beauty, using imagery to describe her physical appearance. For example, in the first two lines, she walks in beauty like the night, of cloudless climes and starry skies, which emphasizes her calm and graceful presence. But as the poem goes on, the speaker begins to admire her inner beauty as well, qualities like her purity and gentle character. The shift is clear in lines 11 to 12, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. Here, the speaker starts focusing on her inner self, showing that his appreciation has deepened from admiring just her appearance to recognizing her moral and emotional qualities too. Next, there is a shift in time. In the beginning, the speaker is describing the woman in the present moment, focusing on how she looks and behaves now. However, as the poem progresses, he begins to reflect on her past, thinking about the experiences that have shaped her inner goodness. This change can be seen in lines 15 to 16. The smiles that win, the teens that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent. While the smiles that win refer to her present beauty, and days in goodness spent shift the focus to her past, showing that her inner beauty has been built over time through a life lived with kindness. This shift from present to past shows that her beauty is not just about her appearance in the moment, but is also about the goodness that has developed through her life experiences.
After analyzing the poem, the title She Walks in Beauty not only refers to the woman's physical beauty, but also to her inner beauty that appears through her actions and thoughts. Her walk represents the perfect harmony of her outer and inner selves, suggesting that her entire being radiates beauty.
The central theme is appreciating a woman's beauty. both physical and spiritual. Byron's description of a woman not only shows her outer appearance, but also shows her inner elegance and harmony, which is reflected in woman's physical characteristic. For the second theme, woman is presented as a perfect whole, where physical beauty, emotional depth, and moral virtue are all intertwined. Byron's emphasis on balance and harmony reflects an idealized view of beauty, where outer and inner qualities are inseparable, and where perfection is found in the alignment of mind, heart, and appearance. For the third theme, we can see that Byron's use of language that implies an unspoken sense of longing and love, while the speaker admires the woman from a distance. There is an emotional tension that suggests a deeper longing.
Well, everyone, that's all about the TPCASTT analysis of the poem She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. We hope it's clear enough to understand. Thank you for watching and goodbye.